Shai, they took control in that third quarter. Seemed like some things didn't break your way that quarter. What did you feel or notice out on the floor as the difference in that frame?
Yeah. Some unfortunate things like lose look flagrant, and then attack. That's like 3 points.
A take foul.
Yeah, there was a take foul. It's 4 points. Then there's like. Then they get the ball back and score, I think.
Oh, Kyrie gets a foul.
So that's like 8 points, and the lead ended up being like 11 at the end of the third. So that's basically the whole lead, which changes the whole game. Now, obviously, you don't use it as an excuse. There were some things in the game we could have controlled. They didn't go our way. We didn't control them. That's why we lost tonight. But, you learn from experiences. 8th loss of the season. We'll get better from it for sure, and be a better team for the next game, which is what we try to do every night.
Dub, I think of the 8 losses, only one has been by double digits, and that was 11. How have you guys, even when you've been down, managed to kind of find your way back to 1 or 2 possessions there late just to give yourselves a shot?
Execution down the stretch was good. Dang, I forgot what I was going to say. Execution was good. That's my answer. I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah. I remember. I was going to say just how we were able to, like, regardless of the circumstance, like, keep playing and fight through some adversity. Understanding that the game was just a game of runs, and we weren't, like, too far out of it. It's not like we were down 20 or, we were just down, like, 10, 11. So we knew we got to get a couple stops. Late game, we were doing a good job of keeping it close, and they hit some big shots down the stretch too. So, but just try to keep it close the whole game, and hopefully rely on them making a mistake to let us back in the game.
Riley?
You guys obviously have dealt with zone, in these last few games against the Cavs twice, and now the Mavericks. What's kind of the key differences that you've seen with having success against the Cavs once and then now this game?
Honestly, our progression for the zone this game was good. We just didn't make shots, to be completely honest with you. It's probably something that we'll look at. I'll look at again with this, 2 days off to kind of, nitpick. But I think our process was good. They, kind of, doubled Shai out of it. And, our attacks were good. We just didn't make shots, and that's how basketball works.
And then I asked Coach this before the game, but at the midway point of the season, obviously we were all reflecting on the year. How often do you guys do that throughout the season? Is a certain benchmarks throughout the year that you kind of look at trends and try to adjust to certain things?
For me personally, I'd be trying to just wait until it get halfway done, and I'm like, woohoo, and then that's kind of it. I don't really have I don't really have a goal to have something within the mid thing. The season kind of feels like such a blur, and everything's just kind of thrown at you. So what game is this, 44? Yeah, it doesn't even feel like that. So we just try and I think we do a good job as an organization and a team of just one game at a time, so it doesn't get overwhelming. I think once you start trying to look ahead and be this is where you want to be in 10 games, it kind of drags on a little bit. So we do a good job of doing the just one game at a time, and when you get to that spot, you get to that spot.
Shai, I know you've kind of shook your head with some of the games PJ's had against you guys, with you going back to college with him. What about this matchup do you kind of makes him a tough cover?
I don't know. I guess he gets up for it. I don't know. But, he's played well. These games aren't the be-all, end-all, but there are opportunities to get better, and we got to get better in that aspect of the matchup for sure.
Mark? Dub, earlier Mark was in here and he was talking about just how different the 4 games are that you guys have played against this team, just given all the personnel differences and just the injuries and availability. Are there any real things that you can take out of just these 4 games that you played against them, that are just tangible, or is it just too different from game to game?
You're saying just with Dallas or just these?
Yeah.
They're a really good team, like, just throughout. So a lot of it is, like, trying to simulate, I wouldn't say a playoff feel, but just, like, the physicality of the game. Like, they're one of those teams where, like, that's what it feels like. So that's been, like, one of the things that we try and, like, remember and stay consistent with and try and have an approach to that. But I feel like just for both teams, like, it's been so many different looks of, like, who's healthy, who's hurt, who's playing throughout our time playing each other. It's kind of like, it's hard to line each other up. You know what I mean? Like, one game he doesn't play. They obviously have guys out. We have yet to have a full team. So it's kind of, it's funny. It's like both teams play each other a lot, but we're also, like, trying to, like, figure out each other, and, like, both teams are super deep as far as their roster, so it feels like every game everybody's trying to, like, feel each other out and try different stuff.
Anybody else?
I got one more.
Michael, and then Ryan will be back.
Shai, tonight you were named an all-star starter once
Hooray.
again, just like you were last year. What does it sort of mean to you to sort of get the recognition, because you were voted #1 guard in the West, and that's from media, other players, and fans?
It's an honor to know that all my hard work is paying off in a way. Appreciate my teammates and my coach for allowing me to be in this position, to take advantage of the opportunity and perform every night, play at a high level every night, and make room for me, make space for me, and sacrifice for me. So I appreciate that. But yeah, it feels good. It's, you know, some of the stuff that you dream about as a kid, for it to come true, definitely feels good.
Mark, what advantages were Dallas able to create off the bounce that just put you guys in some binds tonight defensively?
Yeah, I thought they did a great job driving the ball on us. That was certainly a huge part of the game. And I thought they did a really good job down the stretch. You know, we tried to put some game pressure on them by taking the ball out of Irving's hands, and they moved it out of those double teams really well and hit shots. So give them credit. They outplayed us most of the night. They did a really good job. They deserve to win.
Mark, I know you don't really have a choice with, a few of your centers out, but with Dallas, what is it about the way they attack your small ball lineups that sort of makes them so effective?
I don't know if it's the way they attack it. I mean, I'm not sure it's like isolated to small ball. I thought they outplayed us in really every lineup tonight. I thought they were just the better team. They were the aggressor for much of the game, especially in the second half. You know, we had some good thrust in the first half and had control of the game at different times, but I thought they outplayed us, and I didn't think it was like lineup related tonight. I thought it was just they were the better team in the game.
And we've seen, this team respond well to Shai being trapped, create advantages out of that. I guess what you see down the stretch as they tried to trap him?
Some good attacks, and then I thought there were some. They got really aggressive with it. More so, not down the stretch. I thought our attacks down the stretch were decent. I thought we got thrown a little off kilter in the third when they were just like running at them before we were able to set some of our attacks. And they had us a little bit sped up there. So I thought that was a huge part of the game. I just thought they were the aggressor at the point of attack tonight on both ends. And I thought when it came down to attacking pressure, they did a better job attacking our pressure than we did attacking theirs. So they deserve to win.
Mark, did you get any clarification on Lou's flagrant that got him ejected, or was it just pretty cut and dry where he hit him and they tossed him?
Yeah, it's a hit to the groin, and that's, you open yourself up for that. So.
What else we got? Is that it? Joel, another one?
And Mark, just with PJ specifically, I know your centers are out. What do you see that he attacks with some of the lineups you did have active?
I thought we did a good job on him early. I think he had, at halftime, he was like 10 points on 10 shots or something. So I thought we had him in check early. But I thought it was, in general, I thought Dinwiddie did a really good job driving the ball tonight. Obviously, Irving had a good blend. And they made some plays. I mean, Prosper did a really, really good job at different times, especially in the first half. So I thought it was the whole team. I just thought, like I said, they were the aggressor at the point of attack tonight and deserved to win the game. They made more plays than we did.
And I don't remember what game. It might have been the game that Dallas came down to like the last possession. Lou had a look, but that game their reserve guards were getting to the rim. Also, I just wondered, like, is it more difficult for some of the guys to be as disruptive as you like up top when you have some shallow depth at center or whatever the case may be?
I mean, I think at the end of the day, we've played them 4 times. It's been vastly different personnel-wise every single game, so I think it's hard to draw a direct through line with all those games. But with who they had and with who we had in those 4 games, they beat us 3 out of 4. They were better than us.
Shai had 5 points in the middle quarters. What did you see from Dallas defensively, kind of throwing something at them?
5 points, I'm sorry.
In the middle quarters, second and third quarters.
Like I said, I mean, early double teams, especially in the third. I thought we could have done a better job of handling that. At the end of the day, we know there's going to be different attacks that we're going to have to handle. They zoned us tonight quite a bit, especially in the second quarter. They doubled in the third. They blitzed down the stretch. That's stuff that we're well aware we're going to have to handle. We've handled pretty well for much of the season. We could have handled better tonight, and the combination of that and then not having a great defensive night is why they were, however many points better than they were.
When the Cavs split, the Cavs zoned you, that's a back-to-back set there. J-Dub talked about the second time around they made quicker decisions. That's kind of the difference. Is there anything you'd add to that of how you guys need to improve against zone?
I think we know how we want to attack it. I think we got to that. We got some decent stuff that didn't go down. That had a little bit to do with it. It always does. But I didn't think we were as sharp and decisive against it. But credit them; they did a good job of mixing their stuff. They zoned, they went man, they blitzed. They had us kind of reacting to them, especially in the third. I thought, as the second half wore on, we were able to get more stuff. I thought down the stretch it was a stops game, and we weren't able to get enough stops. We just made too many mistakes, and they were sharper than us in too many parts of the game to come away with a win.